Welcome to The Explainer. So, you're thinking about becoming a data scientist? Well, you've come to the right place. Today, we are breaking down the complete roadmap to one of the hottest careers out there. Let's dive right in. All right, think of this as a quest, a journey, and our goal is to figure out exactly what it takes to become a data scientist in 2026. And look, this is about way more than just a fancy job title. It's really about learning a whole new way to think and to tackle some seriously complex problems. Okay, so here's our game plan. We'll kick things off with the basics, then get into building your skills, show you how to prove them, and of course, how to nail that interview. Finally, we'll look at what comes next. So, first things first. Before we dive into the how, we've got to get a handle on the what, right? What exactly is a data scientist? And what do they actually do all day? A good way to think about it is that a data scientist is kind of like a modern-day detective or an explorer. Their job is to sift through mountains of data to find the hidden clues, the stories that no one else can see. They use this crazy mix of stats, coding, and business smarts to solve really important problems. Things like figuring out what customers will buy next, or even stopping fraud in its tracks. And let's be real for a second. It's not all glamorous high-tech model building. A huge chunk of the job is actually getting your hands dirty. We're talking about collecting and cleaning up messy, chaotic data, just poking around to see what you can find. And maybe the most crucial part, being able to explain what you found to people who aren't data scientists. All right, every hero on a quest needs their gear, right? Your sword, your shield. For a data scientist, that means forging a rock-solid foundation in, you guessed it, math and programming. So, you ready to build out your toolkit? What are the absolute must-haves for this adventure? What are those core skills that'll be the bedrock of everything you do from here on out? Now, don't panic. You do not need a PhD in math here. But you do need a solid, practical grasp of a few key things. Think of statistics as your compass. It helps you ask the right questions and know if you can trust the answers. Linear algebra? That's the hidden engine that makes a lot of machine learning models go. And calculus? Well, that's what helps you understand how these models actually learn and get better over time. Okay, let's talk about your programming sword. In 2026, the weapon of choice hands down is Python. And the reason is simple. It has this incredible army of libraries ready to help you. Think of NumPy as your superpowered calculator, Pandas as the ultimate spreadsheet for wrangling data, Matplotlib and Seaborn as your paintbrushes for creating visuals, and the big one, scikit-learn, as your spellbook for all things machine learning. Okay, foundation set. Now it's time to actually start leveling up and mastering the craft itself. At the very heart of data science is machine learning. And for the most part, it comes in two main flavors. First, you've got supervised learning. This is like teaching a computer with flashcards. You show it examples with the right answers, like this email is spam, this one is not. The goal is to get it to make predictions on new stuff. Then there's unsupervised learning. This is more like letting the computer loose in a messy room and telling it to find groups of similar things on its own. It's all about discovering hidden patterns you didn't even know were there. Here's something you absolutely cannot skip: SQL. Seriously, you can't analyze data if you can't get to it, right? SQL is the language you use to talk to databases, and it is a non-negotiable skill. You've got to get fluent in pulling out exactly the data you need. Think of it as the key that unlocks the treasure chest of data for every single project. There's one skill that really separates the good data scientists from the truly great ones, and that's storytelling. All the fancy models in the world are useless if you can't explain why they matter to someone else. Yeah, tools like Tableau and Power BI are great for making charts, but the real magic is in taking your technical findings and weaving them into a compelling story that shows real business impact. Okay, you've got your tools. You're mastering the craft. Now comes the part where you prove it to the world. This is how you build your reputation. And your portfolio? Ugh, man, that is your single most powerful weapon for landing interviews. Seriously. A resume just lists what you claim you can do. A portfolio shows what you've actually accomplished. It's the hard proof. But a great portfolio is more than just a bunch of code files on GitHub. It's a collection of your project stories. So yeah, put your code on GitHub with clean notes, but take it a step further. Write a blog post for each one. Explain your thought process, the problems you hit, and how you solved them. This shows you can communicate. And please always, always focus on the business impact. Nobody cares about your 98% accuracy score if you can't explain what it actually means for the business. So how do you get the projects to build this portfolio? Well, internships are the obvious answer, and they're great, but they're not the only way. You can jump into Kaggle competitions to test your skills against the best. You could contribute to an open source data science project, or hey, even volunteer to help a local nonprofit make sense of their data. All of this is real, valuable experience. All right, your portfolio is shining. You've got some real experience under your belt. You are now ready to face the final boss, the job interview. And be prepared because data science interviews can be a real gauntlet. It's usually a multi-step process. You'll likely start with a technical screen to test your Python, SQL, and stats chops. Then you might get a take-home assignment or a case study to see how you think. After that comes the behavioral interviews, where they want to see how you communicate and work with a team. And finally, you'll meet the whole team and probably deep dives into the projects in your portfolio. And the reward for getting through all that? Well, it's pretty darn good. Data science is still a very lucrative field, and the salary potential is really high, especially as you gain experience and move up the ladder. Okay, let's wrap this up by talking about some of the practical stuff, the timelines, the different paths you can take, and what to expect on your journey forward. So, how long does this all take? Honestly, it depends. If you're already coming from a math-heavy or coding background, you might be job-ready in 6 months to a year. But if you're making a big career change or you're learning part-time, it's going to be more of a marathon. Think closer to a year and a half, maybe even 2. The key is to be patient with yourself and focus on really understanding the concepts, not just rushing through them. And just remember, there's no single right way to do this. Think of it like climbing a mountain. There are lots of different trails to the top. A boot camp is like a steep, fast, guided trail. It's intense, but it gets you there quickly. A university degree is the long, scenic route. It's comprehensive, but it's a huge commitment of time and money. And the self-taught path is like forging your own trail. It gives you total freedom, but man, it takes a ton of self-discipline. You just have to pick the path that works best for you. But here's the most important thing to take away from all this. Becoming a data scientist isn't really a destination you arrive at. It's a journey of constant learning. The field changes so fast, so you have to embrace that process, stay curious, and just start. Don't wait until you feel ready, because you never will. The best time to start this quest was yesterday. The second best time is right now.